The Tharaka Nithi County Government, in collaboration with universities led by Kenyatta University and Yale University, has released initial findings of a study known as the Randomized Controlled Trial (RCT). This study sought to examine the ability of 3-year-old children to start school, giving their mothers an opportunity to engage in economic activities, especially farming, which is the backbone of the county's economy. The Kenya Bureau of Statistics (KNBS) has also been involved to ensure quality standards are maintained. According to the principal investigator, Professor Simon Onywere, the study is now in its second year and has involved about 60 schools out of the county's 454 institutions. It has received funding from various organizations, including the Gates Foundation.
You have two things that are happening. The child care curriculum intervention. And number two, the child assessment and matter survey. So you are doing something, or something is happening, and you need to find out whether it is causing a change. So there's a very different group that is doing that, and there's a very different group that is doing the intervention. And the group that is doing the intervention consists of early childhood experts, intervention supervisors, mentors, teachers, head teachers, who are playing a very critical role in administration, and especially in ensuring and supervising the activities that they are doing. And of course, the content and the requirements covers a broad range of things. I think you have tested some of them today. And of course, the teacher interaction is very important. The socio-emotional development is very important.
Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Professor Caroline Thurua, emphasized the significance of this project in early childhood care and how Kenyatta University is committed to supporting it.
Kenyatta University has done a lot to enhance women economic empowerment, such as setting up a daycare center within the university to nurse babies of student mothers and young women working at Kenyatta University and the neighborhood. The daycare takes care of children aged 6 months to 3 years. It has trained caregivers and a medical nurse who looks after the children in case of illness. The daycare is closer to KU Health Unit in case of any emergency. Further, at Kenyatta University, through the Kenyatta University Academy, 3-year-olds are admitted to playgroup within the pre-primary school.
The approach was to do evaluative research on programs, come up with the gender disaggregated data, develop policy briefs, and then work with policymakers for uptake of these policies. That is the approach of all 14 projects. For this RCT, we had to get the information from the livelihood. We also anchored the livelihood project in Tharaka Nithi.
According to the study's findings, 3-year-old children have shown cognitive development that enables them to start school early, allowing their mothers to focus on economic activities that improve family livelihoods.
Essentially, the idea is that if you have a group of schools and you randomly pick some to be part of the intervention and some to be part of the control, there shouldn't be any systematic difference between them. So the only difference between them, if it's completely random and not picked by area and not picked by quality of the school, the idea is that when you implement the intervention, whatever you measure as the outcomes, that is attributable to the program and not for any other characteristics that the school might have.
What was coming out of it? At least our children to some level demonstrated the ability to listen, comprehend, and respond appropriately, which are very important skills required for the child to participate actively in the class setting, learning and comprehending, even the 3-year-old, because you can see like the mean percentage of the 3-year-old is around 61. They can be able to follow instructions.
This is the first initiative of its kind in Kenya's public schools, particularly in rural areas. It was developed in response to the need for mothers to resume their economic activities soon after childbirth, while ensuring their children receive proper care.
We wanted to know whether the women have a bargaining power. And there are a few things we looked at. Purchasing food. Who purchases food in the house? Anasema ni mimi. Kweli ni wewe? Anasema ni mimi. We recorded it. And we found out from this that in 10 of the items we considered, purchasing clothes, sales, choosing which items you need in the house, child education and so on, in all of those, in the 10 items considered, more women made final decisions in 5 items. And which are they? Chakula, nguo, afya ya watoto.
The idea originated from the establishment of a world-class childcare center at Chuka Market, where mothers could bring their children and leave them under the care of trained caregivers while they continued with their businesses. Following the success of this initiative, Kenyatta University, in its mission to empower women economically, partnered with the Tharaka Nithi County government to extend the program beyond the market by integrating it into the Early Childhood Development Education (ECDE) curriculum. Through this program, 3-year-old children are enrolled in school and taught by specially trained caregivers.
We advocate for increased investment in pre-primary infrastructure, including classrooms and child-friendly learning materials, capacity building for early childhood educators to ensure quality teaching and care, sensitization campaigns to encourage parents to embrace early childhood education for their children. And to this end, Kenyatta University remains committed to working closely with all stakeholders to turn these recommendations into actionable policies that will create lasting change.
The universities involved in this research have used locally sourced materials to develop learning tools and teach children in their mother tongue. In Tharaka Nithi, where there are different dialects, children are taught in their respective dialects. This has helped increase school enrollment and improve economic conditions for families.
We allow children to interact with the materials as the other teacher coaches. Here children are able to learn skills, more skills like sharing. They share materials. They learn vocabularies because they talk as they interact with those materials.
That it is possible to have a 3-year-old child grasp educational concepts and retain them. We have seen that one practically in our schools. Because when these children came to our schools, we were the first to receive them. All these others are just getting information from us. So firstly, we were wondering how we would handle them because they used to cry and for their parents and so on. But with the materials that were exposed to them, they got used and everything went on well.
Basic education expert Sam Ngaruya from the Ministry of Education confirmed that the project has full government support and will be expanded to other regions in Kenya, as many parts of the country have similar conditions to Tharaka Nithi.
At the basic education, we know learning begins at birth. Some studies say before birth, but we know also our mandate is at 4 years. So we are concerned with 3 things, which I say you are addressing in this study. And that is, to what extent are our household able to prepare children to learn? At what level? At what is the readiness of these children as they start pre-primary 1 or they start grade 1? So our concerns in school readiness are 3 levels. The readiness of the learner to learn as they come to school. We also concerned with the readiness of them to transition in the different levels, and we also concerned with the readiness of our institutions to receive those children. So as you address those things, it's also good to look at that wider perspective.
The women in our county and in our country have been very pivotal drivers of economic growth, innovation, and sustainability. There would be more contributions, and their contributions span from both formal and informal sectors, often overcoming systemic barriers to deliver results in every part of our economy. Despite the turbulent changes that are fed by market dynamics, Women's roles in our lives are irreplaceable. They are the engine of development, prepared by years of serving, nurturing, learning, adapting for such a time as this, when their participation in society continues to mold our future.
Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki praised the study, stating that his administration will invest heavily in basic education. He expressed confidence that this program will not only increase school enrollment but also lay a strong foundation for children's education as they progress through their studies.
We are happy that things are happening in 60 schools in Tharaka Nithi out of the 454. That tells you that we have a big job ahead of us, that if we have to roll out what is working in 60 schools in 454, we need not just determination, we need prayers, we need resources, we need determination and beyond.
Additionally, the 60 caregivers trained under this program will be employed as the first batch of professionals to handle the growing number of children enrolling in school. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV, Tharaka Nithi County.